Good evening, good afternoon, and good night to everyone. I know we have many people joining us, depending on where you find yourself. We greet you. FESTARI Institute of Professional Studies is a registered body that is seeking to provide another medium for professionals to enhance themselves regarding career growth. And so we are a leading training center with our headquarters in Takwa State, Ghana. Of course, wherever you find yourself, looking at how small the world has become due to technology, you can always join us in any of our programs, our courses, or trainings that we do at our center. And then this webinar, as we usually say, we are bringing professional insights to you. That is the theme or the slogan for the webinar. Since we are looking at training professionals, then we know that no one person can be the body of knowledge just alone. So, of course, you have to always have people that have seen it and tested it so that they can share with you what they have experienced. If there are mistakes or pitfalls, you don't find yourself in such situations, and then you can have the journey quite smooth for you. And so, with this being our maiden webinar, we decided to look around. We scouted the whole place, and then we realized that there is one person that could fits it all. So we are looking at education, career in terms of education. So let's say, for example, you are done with school and you want to progress the ladder of academics, then you need someone who is well vexed and have seen it all in that aspect or that area. And so we have here with us Professor Emmanuel Daanoba Sunkari. Just quite recently, he was with the University of Mines and Technology, and now he's with Sir Padampat University, that is in India. And there are details about the name where he can help us pronounce them clearly. And he hails from Jan in the Nadoli Kelo district in Ghana, precisely in Upper West. I know he completed University for Development Studies, did Earth Science, proceeded to Turkey to further his education in MSc and PhD in Geology. He's highly an acclaimed researcher all over the internet now. When you hear of Tatalum mineral that has been discovered recently, there's no way you hear of that mineral without getting the name Sunkari associated with it. And so it is great pleasure that we have him with us today. And without much to say, I would say the whole house, with a warm welcome, we invite Professor Emmanuel Daanoba Sunkari to take over the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Festus for such an honor that you have given to me to be part of this maiden edition of your institute. So I don't take it lightly. As you rightly said, knowledge is not in the repository of one man. We are here to learn together. This is just about sharing our experiences and how we can guide one another to achieving success when we go out there to study postgraduate programs. So without wasting much time, I would also like to thank your institute. I know you are not the only one. There are other people who are involved. I would like to thank the organizers and those who are supporting you. It's a step in the right direction, and I pray that it continues so that we can actually leverage on that to help many people who are suffering from this quagmire of getting scholarships and succeeding when they are even in the postgraduate programs. All right. So today we are going to talk about pathway to postgraduate success, funding, scholarships, and international opportunities. So those are the things we are going to talk about. He has already introduced me. So currently I'm at Sir Padampat Singhania University in India. It's just like, University of Mines and Technology is inclined to engineering and mathematics, especially computer and the mining related areas. So why study abroad? This is the big question we need to ask ourselves. To most people who are in the university or in the college, it is one of the most beneficial experiences. It is a time they are able to maximize it and accrue something to themselves. So if you study abroad, you will have the opportunity, number one, to study in a foreign nation. That is the first thing. Of course, you are leaving your country and then you are going to now study in an entirely new country with a different cultural makeup or setup. And so with that, you will take in the allure and the culture of a new land. You're going to imbibe in the culture of that new land. For some of us, we have never stepped out of the borders of Ghana. So studying abroad may be one of the opportunities for you to step out of the borders of Ghana and see how things are done. Then some of the reasons are that you will gain interpersonal skills required by today's employers. Some of the skills that you need for, getting jobs in the industries that are operating today, you may not get them in the right quantum within your country because of lack of facilities, maybe lack of qualified personnel and all that. Let me tell you, when I started my bachelor, the things I have seen most of you go through or see, I didn't see them. I studied geology without knowing how to use the microscope or without, touching a microscope. How is this possible? You study geology without a microscope. But today, most of you are fortunate. You have microscopes in your lab that you can study. But we learned it the hard way, and then we're able to make it. So with that, for me, when I went to Turkey, because Turkey was the first place I went to study abroad, I had to join the undergraduate class to learn how to use the microscope. I took 2 undergraduate courses, metamorphic petrography, and my professor was the one teaching it because he realized that I didn't have that knowledge, which was required. So you see, if I had not gone to study abroad, it means that I would not have been able to use the microscope. And when I came back to UMAT, I was teaching courses that were related to that, using the microscope, and I even got consultancy jobs because of that. And it is all because I went abroad to study it. At the time I was at the University for Development Studies, we didn't have that. So you will gain some skills that you couldn't get. Then it also gives you opportunity to have global education. So when we talk about global education, it is an all-round education that touches almost all facets of life. For example, when you are abroad, the kind of courses you are being taught, there are specific courses related to your program, and there are courses that we call multidisciplinary courses, value-added courses, and others that you will take alongside so that you become a holistic individual when you come out. Another reason people go abroad to study is to hone their language skills. Because you see, before you go to America or you go to Canada or you go to any of the English-speaking countries, now they require some exams. They require tests of English as foreign language or IELTS or the other language exams. And so you would have trained yourself well in that language. Or even when you get there, you get to interact with the people and your language skills begin to improve. Don't be surprised that when you get there, you even see people slanging. And before you realize, some of you will end up also slanging. And when you come back to Ghana, your language will become different. So you will hone your language skills. You would even learn a new language. When I went to Turkey, for master's, it was in English. But for PhD, it was entirely in Turkish. Just that I did most of my things in English, but I wrote a thesis in Turkish. So I had to learn Turkish language to be able to do that. I had to learn the Turkish language to be able to live in the community. And even when I helped other African friends to come to Turkey to study, because of the language I learned, I became like a friend to most of the Turkish, and I could get things done easily for my friends. So then there are also career opportunities. When you go abroad, sometimes it's not just only about the studies. There are certain countries that will permit you the opportunity to take up some jobs alongside. So work and study, those opportunities are there in some countries. I will take you through some of those countries that have that, and we will see the requirements that are needed to do all that. So there are opportunities in your career to blossom. There are opportunities for you to move into new realms of possibilities in the career you have chosen. Sometimes it may not even be what you are going to study, but you will get opportunities in different areas. Then you also take in a new culture. You will learn a new culture. You will learn a new culture. And this new culture is going to help you. Being able to assimilate in a new environment is even one thing. It means that when you come back to Ghana to work in a certain way, you have people from different backgrounds. You have people from the north, people from the south, and all that. You will be able to fit in. I have worked with people from different backgrounds because of the opportunity I had to study abroad. Then you will find new interests. Things that did not interest you, you begin to find new interests. And that is broadening your horizon. Then you will make lifelong friends. There are some friends I've made now and they have become permanent friends. As I sit, I have friends in Portugal, I have friends in Germany, I have friends in Turkey, I have friends in India, I have friends in almost all the countries, Italy, the countries I've been to through study abroad. And I can actually sit and connect others there. So that is one of the opportunities. And also for personal development. You are there to study. You are there to uplift yourself. You are there to make yourself better for tomorrow. So when you study abroad, like one of our friends said, it is easier for you to get jobs because your personality will increase. Everything about you, even when you come back to Ghana. In fact, the reason I even asked you was whether you did a survey, and people got jobs when they came back from abroad. That is something that is a fact. It's factual. It is true. Let me tell you, when you study abroad, you become more marketable than someone who has just studied all throughout in his country. So even when you are studying in your country, there are opportunities you can use to go abroad and do some training. So maybe 6 months internship or academic exchange, and you add those experiences to your experience in Ghana. So that is the importance of studying abroad. Look, I got my job in UMAT whilst I was in Turkey. I was still doing my PhD when I got the job, and I was interviewed online. All right, and because you are a foreign student and you are there, you will have seriousness towards academic work, and so you will be top notch. If you go abroad and you don't do well academically, then you are a failure. I must say that with no apology. Because what is the reason you went? It was maybe perhaps because those opportunities were not in your country. Then you go and you are moving along with the natives and you are not studying, you come back with third class or whatever, then it is not a good thing to do. So let's look at the countries that give these opportunities, countries and reasons people choose them. One of the countries that people go a lot is the United Kingdom, UK. So the quality of UK education is what motivates a lot of people to want to go there because it is recognized by a lot of employers. Most universities and governments worldwide, they recognize the quality of UK education. In fact, most of the countries were even colonized by the British. Okay, so when you have education from UK, it's like you have had education from a superpower. All right, so that is why people choose to go to the United Kingdom to study. One of the reasons is that it's a popular destination for international students. A lot of international students, and they have world-class standards of teaching. And when you look at the top universities in the world, The top 6 are all from the UK. All right. So that is what people are looking at when choosing the country and where to study. And currently there are over 450,000 in internationals or international students from across the world studying in the UK. So when you go to the UK, we have several students, and most of them are studying bachelor degrees, master's degrees, PhD degrees. We will look at all those categories. Some of you don't even understand masters, let's say MSc, BS, MTech, MPhil. We will look at all that, and PhD. Now, another destination where a lot of students would like to go is Australia, especially those of you who are interested in the earth sciences, those of you interested in mining. It is a hot destination for students, and they are really looking for people. Now, there is even, a visa that is coming out, or people are already doing application, and they are looking for talents. Okay, talents from outside Australia. They will just review your profile, and if you are qualified, then they give you the visa. Then you come, they help you get opportunity, you get a job, then you come to work for Australia, and the dividends that will come will be good for you. So it's educating more than 4,015,000 international students. Currently, 4,015,000 international students. And it seems to be high on the list for many reasons. What are some of the reasons? Cost for tuition. When you compare with other countries like America, UK, you see that Australian universities have lower tuition costs. And in terms of living, cost of living, Australia is a place that, is quite okay to live with the meek, stipends you get in comparison to other countries like USA, Canada, etc. Then there are also job opportunities. Most of my friends who went to Australia to study, they never came back. They got jobs in the mining industry. They got jobs in several companies. All right. Then the pay you will get is better, higher than average pay for part-time jobs. So even as you are a student, the part-time jobs you will get, you will be paid higher than the average pay someone will get whilst working in Australia. So that becomes a hot cake. And there are several good universities in Australia. Queensland University, ranging from University of South Australia and all that. These are all very good universities that you can go to. All right. Then, this is where most people want to go to, Canada. I know it's on the top list of majority of us who have joined this webinar. Almost everyone wants to go to Canada. What is the reason? Why do people want to go and study in Canada? Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about UK, we talked about Australia, we are now in Canada. I said Canada is in the top list of most of you. If I interview majority of you here, which country would you like to go to study? Canada might be number one, because these days of USA, people are afraid to go to the USA. So Canada will be on the topmost list of almost all of you. So what is the reason? It's because international students can work and settle in Canada. There are a lot of opportunities for international students. You work whilst you are studying, and when you are there for a particular period of time, you are qualified for permanent residence. And when you get that particular document, you are more or less like a citizen of the country. You are qualified for some benefits and all that. That is what people are using. They are settling in Canada. And now people are targeting certain parts of Canada where cost of living is cheaper. For example, the northern part, even though it's a bit colder and all that, people are choosing some of those places to avoid spending much money. If you go to the capital, let's say you go around Ontario and other places, it becomes a bit expensive to live in. So you choose wisely, all right? One of the things is that Canada offers one of the highest standards of living in the world. Quality life. You will have everything at your disposal. So that is why people choose to study in Canada. The quality of education there is also top-notch. Most of the Canadian universities are very good. Those of you who, I know majority of you are into the earth sciences, in mining, in geology and all that. All right. The best mining university, especially in Ontario, is in Laurentian University, or Laurentian University is in Sudbury. If you go there, there is even a Ghanaian who is there. That Ghanaian is a professor in mining engineering department, and he even graduated from UMAT. His MSc is from UMAT, mining engineering. All right, and I know Dr. Bright Afum also, did his PhD over there under the supervision of that particular professor. Once the person is from where you are from, there is the higher chance of he or she helping you out with a scholarship, or even, taking you as a student. So write politely to some of these people. All right, you go to University of Manitoba. It's also very good, well known for the sciences. You can search for most of these universities in Canada and apply for them. Students can gain valuable work experience through off-campus placement. That is another thing. You get work experience. There are internship opportunities. They send you to companies to work, and you gain some experience. And when you come back, all these things, when you put them in your CV, they are helping you. Because as a student, you may not have that working experience as a paid employee. But with the internships and all that you put in your CV, they are going to help you. Imagine doing internship in a very big company like Onyx or Newmont in Canada. Then you come back to Ghana. I mean, you become a hot cake. So these are the opportunities in Canada you have to strive for. So you can browse about the universities in Canada and then, start the process. After the countries, we are going to look at a section where I will take you through the requirements, how to prepare your documents and all that. So don't worry yourself. Then Ireland. Ireland shares close proximity to the United Kingdom. They are separate. And it has a lot of tax benefits to multinational organizations. So when you go to Ireland today, we have leading IT, pharmaceutical, and livestock. In fact, it is a booming place for you to go. You can study some programs there and easily get some jobs in these sectors. So some of the advantages of settling in Ireland include, you have the opportunity to stay and do job in Ireland for 5 solid years. Opportunity to stay and do job in Ireland for 5 solid years. Recently, one of my mentees, in fact, I was the one that even helped him with a recommendation when he applied for, it was an advertised project. And he put in his application. Then the professor contacted me because they wanted to give the project to him, but they wanted to know thoughts from his mentors before they could do that. And I did the writing and they gave it to him. Today he's in Ireland. Okay, and I'm not sure if he gets opportunity there, he would want to come back to Ghana. He was struggling to even get a job after his master's in Ghana, maybe even as an assistant lecturer. They were not, giving him that opportunity. So it is one of the destinations you can go. There is quality life there. It is entitled, when you are there, you are entitled to open or run a business or to be self-employed. Some of the countries you can go, you cannot do business because of the kind of visa you are sending there. You cannot self-employ yourself because of the kind of visa you will be using over there. But in Ireland, they are open to every kind of person. When you come, you can run a business, you can be self-employed. Then another country that is a hot cake is New Zealand. New Zealand, some people don't want to go there. Oh, what is New Zealand? It's a small country. I mean, there are earthquakes there. It's a place known for natural disasters, what and what. But it is one of the hot cakes. New Zealand, very close to Australia. New Zealand and Australia are almost the same. All right, the quality of life, everything is almost the same. So its educational institutions are well regarded throughout the world. Okay, have you heard of University of Christchurch and so many universities, very good universities there? There is a great range of opportunities for international students who would want to go there. If you want to even go and study at the secondary school level, they have quality education. They have very good network of English language schools and internationally respected, and they are recognized all over. So education in this particular country, New Zealand, opens up easy opportunities to permanently settle in New Zealand. So you see, one of the secrets to settling in a country is sometimes through education. You use education, you go there, you finish your master's, continue with PhD, you are there, and then you get some side jobs you are doing. Before you realize, you will end up staying there, and you can be visiting your family from time to time. So education is the cheapest route or the easiest route one can use. If not, sitting in Ghana and looking for a job in New Zealand or in any of those countries is not that easy, except you have something to offer them. If not value, if you don't have something, value plays on you, it is difficult for you to be employed whilst you are in your country of nativity. Then the almighty United States of America. I think this was in the top list of most of you, but maybe because of the current situation, people are trying to run away, but it still offers good opportunities. You know, it's not everyone they will harass. If you have the right type of visa, why should you be harassed? You are going for school, you have scholarship, or you can pay yourself, there is no problem. There are so many reasons people choose to study in the US. Some of them are American universities, are quality, top notch. Most of the best universities in the world are American universities. In fact, those of you who are into engineering and the sciences, American universities are on top. MIT and the others, they are there. Okay. So go for the American dream. If you want quality education, then quality life. All right. Then there is also flexibility to explore your academic interest before choosing your major. So in America, when you go to study, you kind of like settle in, but you don't go straight away to your program like that, especially those going to do bachelor programs. Then you have the opportunity to explore, and you may choose the major you want to, specialize in. Even in the masters, there are specializations. So you can explore at the coursework level, then later on you can specialize in a particular domain. Then in Asia, the word that best captures Singapore, it is a dynamic country which has a lot of things. There's harmonious blend of culture. Their food, cuisine, is one of the best. Then their arts and architecture. Look at their buildings. So Singapore today is becoming a hub of educational excellence. Most people want to go there because their universities are one of the best. Okay? Nanyang Technological University and all that in Singapore, they are one of the best. Affordable quality education. So as compared to Europe, compared to the Americas, Singapore education is more affordable. All right. If you go to the US, if you are doing an MSc program, at least a year you'll be paying like $20,000 just for tuition. But in Singapore, you may be paying less than that, like $8,000 or maybe $10,000 thereabout. But you still get the same type of, education. All right. All these countries I'm listing, I can't talk about all the countries. I selected countries. There are a lot of them. It doesn't mean if I didn't mention any country, it's not a place to go. There are places to go. If you are not getting any of these, please, if you still want to study abroad, there are opportunities for you. Don't stereotype your mind. Chinchina, I must go to Canada. I must go to America. Meanwhile, you can use Turkey as the route to America. You can use India as the route to Canada or Australia, but you are relegating it. Infrastructure and accessibility is one of the things. Top-notch infrastructure, global business hub. Now most organizations are moving to Singapore. Business is booming over there. The tech industry is booming there. There is a vibrant and cosmopolitan lifestyle. When we say cosmopolitan, there is a blend. We have a mixture of people from varied backgrounds. All right. So Singapore is actually continuously and consistently being acknowledged to be a global business hub with so much infrastructure, political stability. How many of you have heard about instability in Singapore in terms of politics? It has an open business policy. So Singapore is one of the destinations top notch if you want to study in Asia. And It's not only Singapore, there are others, but in Asia, I decided to choose Singapore. Now there are, opportunities in this country, Kazakhstan. Okay, when you get there, recently one of my mentees got it, and they are going to take care of everything. All you have to do is just pay your flight ticket and come. When you get there, they are giving you stipend that can cover your tuition and your accommodation. Tuition is already even waived, so your accommodation, your feeding, and your substance will be taken care of. Now, so as I said, those are not all the countries. There are other countries. Where I am currently, India is a destination that all of you, if you are interested, you can come, because cost of education, let me tell you, is very, very, very cheap. You are getting a program with, tuition, feeding, accommodation, utility bills, everything in just less than $2,000 a year. Imagine a master's program, less than $2,000, $1,800. Everything is taken care of in that. And you have opportunity to interact with the industry or get internship opportunities and all that. And you can use that opportunity to go to other countries for academic exchange programs. One of the things you need to know before I go to this entry requirements is that, look, you may have not gotten America, you may have not gotten Canada, you may have not gotten Australia, but you can get Turkey. You go to Turkey, they have what we call Erasmus academic program, exchange program, because Turkey is partly in Europe, so they are a European associate. So they give them opportunity. Students, you just write exams, English exams. Once you pass and you have a good grade from your, let's say, CWA, your CWA is strong, a percentage is taken out of it in addition to the exams, and then you are given the opportunity to go abroad to spend at most, maximum 1 year. And you can spend 3 months, 6 months, and all that in any top-notch university in Europe of your choice. I benefited from it. I used to go to University of Lisbon in Portugal. So it is an opportunity for you. And today is in my credit. I have the certificate. I have it in my CV, everything. No one can take it away. Even though I didn't, study all throughout in Portugal, I have studied in the University of Portugal. University of Lisbon. So you can also use that opportunity, and then you have links. So today I have professors there I can relate with, and I can send students there. So let's look at the entry requirements, the countries. And most of these things run through. So for undergraduate level in the UK, you need a CWA of about 65%, or when you convert your WASI results to percentage, it should be like above 65% for humanities in the 12th grade. When you hear of 12th grade, when you go abroad, it means your WASI level, your like third year or final year in the secondary school. That is the 12th grade. But for postgraduate, let's say master's, PhD, you need 60% and above in first degree. The first degree is required. So at least it should be in second class lower and above. That is what I mean to say. But if you want to compete for scholarships, let me give this caveat. You must be in at least second class upper. Second class upper, first class. But that is not to say people have not gotten scholarship with second class lower. I have evidence to that. I know people who have gotten scholarships with second class lower, because apart from the academic aspect, they have other things to offer. They have experience, they have worked, and they have voluntary activities attached to themselves. They've done a lot of voluntary activities and they have certificates and all that to prove. So it is not only about academics. In Australia, you need good academic record in high school certificate or 12 years of schooling plus IELTS. Okay, you need to write this English exam before you can get undergraduate, admission. Then for the postgraduate, you need a very good bachelor's degree from a recognized university, and then also with the IELTS also, you need that. And in some of their universities, or majority of their universities, for PhD, you must have masters. Some of them will say, yes, you can use bachelor degree if you have first class. You can use it to get PhD straight. Others will not allow that. You will have to have a master's before you do PhD. Then in New Zealand, for undergraduate degree, you need 50 to 60% in your WASI. Then if it is diploma, 60 to 75%. Then if it is bachelor degree, you need like 70 to 75%. Okay, so your CWA should be like 70 to 75% or even above if you want to do a bachelor degree. For postgraduate degrees, you need, let's say you want to do graduate diploma. Graduate diploma is considered a postgraduate degree. So 50 to 55%. Then for bachelor degree, a student getting below 50% in bachelor degree will either have to go for an undergraduate diploma. All right. So if you have or less than 50%, you cannot get the graduate diploma. All right. Now for Canada, undergraduate 65% and above with IELTS. Forget about the spelling. It should be IELTS. Then for postgraduate, 16 years study required for postgraduate plus the IELTS. So mostly they require. Some universities can waive it for you, that English exam. In Ireland, the same 65%, but for postgraduate, let's say you are going for master's or PhD. So let's look at that, because most of you is postgraduate. We are looking at a good academic record in your bachelor's degree, right? So if you have at least second class lower, you can get admission. But if you are looking for scholarship, I will always say strive hard to get at least a second class upper degree. In Singapore, for postgraduate, 60% CWA with some maybe entry exams or even the IELTS you write. And if you want to go to America, minimum requirement for 4-year bachelor's degrees. So most of the universities have their minimum requirements that differ, but at least you should also have a seed, if it is GPA, of 3 out of 4 to compete for scholarships. 3 out of 4. You can convert it to percentage wise and you know what it is. So for percentage, I can say maybe from 70% and above, you are qualified to get masters and maybe even PhD degrees. And some of them will tell you to write TOEFL or IELTS exam, and some may waive it. So you have to check the websites of the universities. They may waive it entirely for you and you will not need to pay, because these exams are expensive. You will need to pay like $200 to sit in for such an exam. And sometimes you may not pass it at a go. You may have to do some, tutorials before you can pass it. So what are the reasons for applying? Having looked at the requirements, what are some of the reasons that you would have to do the application for postgraduate study? One of the things is interest in the subject. Please do not go abroad for going sake. Everyone is going, let me also go. Ghana is too hot. I've heard those terminologies. Ghana is too hot. You will go there and that place is hotter than Ghana. Because of the demands, you don't have money to survive. What will you do? You may end up living illegally. You cannot even renew your documents. So please cut your coat according to your cloth. That is what we usually say. So if you are going abroad, we have seen people who went abroad to study and they ended up abandoning those programs because the programs were not of interest to them. It's just that it was that opportunity they used to enter the country. I know as I'm talking, some people say, Masa, this one we want to enter is the place we want to enter. Let us enter. It can even be dondology, but even if they give me scholarship, I will go. It can be, I'm not saying dondology is no good. It can even be whatever course, I will go. Yes, that is the problem. It should be something of interest to you. Then look at your future. That area you are going into, are there prospects? Are there opportunities? If there are no opportunities, please don't venture in. You can go to America and be decorated with first class in that area, but you come back and nobody will use you. You think, say, there are no people who went to UK and America and they came to Ghana and they don't have jobs? There are a lot. I know friends of mine who have been to UK and they are in Ghana, even looking for people teaching, they are not getting. I'm telling you. So look at the career prospects. Then a suitable current option. Is there any option to applying for that particular program or another program? Just look at the options available. And you must have a deepened understanding of the subject area. It shouldn't be because someone has told you to apply. Don't be coerced to apply. All right? It shouldn't also be to keep on being a student. Okay, I just finished UMAT. I want to continue. I don't want to sit at home. It shouldn't just be because of that reason. No, it should be out of motivation and passion for the program you're applying for. Then also not to put off making a career decision. All right? You should be focused and know what you want. So what is postgraduate study? Now, having looked at the countries, having looked at the requirements, and why you should apply, what is even postgraduate study? What are the available programs for you to apply? So when we talk about postgraduate study, we have, different types of them. For example, we have master's programs. So for master's programs, they are usually structured. These are structured programs of which sometimes there are coursework combined with research, but they come sequentially. Coursework first, followed by research. Coursework first, followed by research. Okay, so for the coursework, the first 1 year, then the research where you are doing thesis the second year. So that is how masters with research go. And some of them are purely coursework. You just only go and take courses, and then you can write some end-term project or something like that, literature review or something, then you get your master's and go. And these ones are mostly like 1 year, especially when you go to the UK, you will see a lot of them, and they are always looking for students. I mean, you can easily get admission. If you just send your documents today, in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, you will get admission. All right, but be sure, if you don't have money to pay, it will not be easy. About £30,000, £20,000 a year. Now, so for master's degrees, the titles vary according to subject. You may see MA, which means Master of Arts. So MA is into the arts and humanities. So people who want to do social science, people who want to do the humanities, okay? So maybe you want to do something like sometimes geography is considered as an arts program. So MA in geography, okay? MA in development studies. So it is in humanities and in the arts. Then we have MSc, Master of Science. So with Master of Science, you are going to study a science-based program. It could also be an engineering program, but it has a lot of scientific aspect or theoretical aspect. It could have some research. For instance, where I studied in Turkey, we don't have MPhil. Okay, I should have even added MPhil here. In Turkey, we don't have MPhil. What we have is MSc with thesis and without thesis. So in some countries, it's just MSc for all science and engineering programs. Then we have what we call MTech, Master of Technology. Master of Technology. What is Master of Technology? All right. These are programs that are technologically inclined. They deal more with the practical aspect than the theory. For these, people into the sciences, into the engineering, they go in for that. So we have MTech, mining engineer. For example, in India, when you come to India, they don't have MSc like that. Maybe some university, if they have MSc, then it's in the core sciences like physics, chemistry, biology. Then they will say MSc physics, MSc chemistry. But if it is in the engineering, it's Master of Technology. But Master of Technology, mining engineering. Master of Technology, geological engineering. All right. Now, even in the technical universities in Ghana, that is the practice. That is what they are using, because their programs are practically oriented and have a technological inclination. So that is why they use that. In other countries, they will say Master of Engineering. If you go to Canada, they have that. Okay, and this Master of Engineering, most at times, is even coursework. You just do courses, and then within 1 year, you get your MEng, Master of Engineering. All right, so there is another one we call MPhil, Master of Philosophy. And this MPhil is purely research. Okay, and in Ghana, we take it as a prerequisite for PhD. If you want to do PhD, they say you have to do MPhil. But if you do MSc with thesis, you are also qualified. MTech with thesis, MEng with thesis, MA with thesis, you are qualified to do PhD. But if there is no thesis component or it is not up to like 2 years, sometimes it's difficult to enter into the PhD program. So please be careful. If you want to enter into a PhD program, most countries are looking at master's programs that have minimum years as 2 years, not 1 year. Some places may accept 1 year master's program for PhD, but majority will be 2 years and they have to be a research component. Then we have LLM, Master of Laws. So those who want to do law at the master's level, they go for LLM. So you can have LLB, which is the Bachelor of Laws. Then you go now to do LLM. But that doesn't mean if you don't have LLB, you cannot do LLM. There are a lot of LLM programs that are meant for people who did any bachelor degree. So you can explore them. Those of you who want to become lawyers, even after your engineering program, you can go for LLM programs and major in maybe constitutional law, human rights law, LLM in the maybe organizational law or whatever, environmental law, mining law. You can go for them. There are several names given to these master's programs, but these are the most common ones. Okay, so taught courses follow a similar structure to undergraduate degrees. So as I told you, when you go to the UK and in Ireland, most of their MSc programs or MA programs are taught. And those ones, as I told you, is just courses. They will teach you courses, and they are structured like undergraduate degrees, the way you take courses at the undergraduate level. And you write exams, you pass, and that's all. You have your degree within 1 year. So the program may include seminars, it can include some lectures, coursework, and include dissertation or project. In the end, you don't write like a full thesis, it's just a project, like how you do project work at the final year within the undergraduate program in Ghana. And typically, all the master's programs range from 1 to 2 years, full time, 1 to 2 years. Sometimes you can go beyond 2 years if you don't finish. You can take extension. And maybe some have a cap up to maximum 4 years for the master's program. After 4 years, if you don't finish, they will eliminate you or remove you from the program. Now, let's look at the other one, PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. That is another postgraduate program. Typically, PhD programs range from 3 to 4 years, all right? And in some countries, they can even reach 10 years. Go to America. I have seen people doing PhD 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, because you are mandated to publish certain number of papers. Some of the PhD programs, you are not writing thesis, you are only doing publications. You just start, it's research. Collect samples, do analysis in the lab, start writing papers, you publish all of them and put them as what? Chapters in the as your thesis, and that becomes your thesis, then you can graduate. So you can imagine it will take several years to do that. Some of us, for me, I even take pride in that. I did my PhD for over 5 years in Turkey. One of the reasons was that COVID came in 2020. And there was nothing. For the whole of 2020, everything was on a standstill. All labs were closed. I went to Portugal to do part of my work. COVID came, I had to run back to Turkey. So you see, so people can do PhDs 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, but it doesn't matter. So it also involves an extended period of supervised research. So you will have a supervisor or a group of supervisors for PhD. And in some of the PhD programs, like I indicated, you can go directly with your bachelor degree. If you have a first class, you can go straight away into PhD. Now, I mean, we know of Dr. Festus, who is a beneficiary of this. Festus had his bachelor degree at UMaT. He started with a master's in UMaT. They have that, then you switch to PhD. So you will not even have master's degree. After 1 year, you switch to PhD. Then you end within 3-4 years, you have a PhD, but without master's. So those opportunities are there in some countries. You can go straight away and do that. Now, you are mandated to work independently. That is why people say when you have a PhD, you are like a repository of knowledge. People say, is this person having a PhD? Why is he talking like this? You must work independently and be a guru in your field. And you write a thesis under the guidance of a supervisor or a group of supervisors. It is the highest level of academic qualification. When you do PhD, let me tell you, you will not sit in classroom again. PhD is the highest. From diploma, bachelor, masters, the highest is PhD. You will not enter any class again, except maybe you want to take another PhD or another master's. If not, that is the highest. And once you get the doctor title from a qualified university, that is it. So the rest, when you hear somebody is called professor, associate professor, those are awards based on your experience and research prowess. When you are in the academic institution, then over time, you begin to get those titles to you. But your actual title is doctor. So that's why when you go to some countries, you will not see somebody, people even call themselves professors. They will say, I'm Dr. This, a professor in this, Dr. This, an associate professor in this. But in our country, we would like to mention them by their professor titles. So what are some of the considerations you need to take in when you are making applications? One of them is the area of study or research. You must look at the area you want to study or conduct your research. It's very important. In mining, which area in mining? All right. And then what kind of supervisor? Supervisor is very important. If you don't have the right supervisor in place, you may end up quitting the PhD program because your supervisor will become like someone who is frustrating you. We have seen people quit their PhD programs or master's programs because of bad supervisor attitude. Then also the university and institution also matters. You must make sure that the university at least is accredited. Go to universities that are accredited, not universities where when you finish, then they say your university is not accredited. It means you wasted your time. Your degree is not accredited. So where do I find opportunities? There are several databases you can find opportunities. So database of postgraduate courses and research, you can check here www.prospects.ac.uk postgraduate courses if you want to study in the UK. We have about 20 searchable courses in targetpostgrad.com. Then you can go to choosing masters, this website, choosing a PhD here, postgraduate site, you check here, find masters, find a PhD, finding a PhD. All these are good websites you can use to get the scholarships and get programs that fit you and you apply. Now, once you have set and you have found what you want, what do? Let's ask ourselves, why are we even here now? Why this webinar? Why this seminar? Why are we going to why are we doing this particular webinar? The reason is that we want to go to graduate school. We are considering going to graduate school to study programs. So when you go to the postgraduate school, you must enjoy doing research. Deciding on a school is very important. Okay, decide on a professor, not a school. So check the professors very well. So what are the application requirements? You need application form. So most of the times they are online. So you fill in the forms accurately as possible. Put in the right information. Statement of purpose. This is one thing. It's even something we can have a full webinar on how to write a statement of purpose. All right. It should be well structured, talking about yourself, talking about your qualifications and how you fit in for that program or the advertised project. You must state all of that. Maximum 2 pages. Statement of purpose should not exceed 2 pages. If it exceeds 2 pages, nobody will read it. So please try to structure your statement of purposes very well. Then you get your transcripts from your school. Those are your academic records. Sometimes those universities will require that your school sends them officially to them, not you yourself. So you have to arrange that. Letters of recommendation. This is very important. Please get letters of recommendation from people who know you very well or have taught you, not people who have not taught you. I see a lot of people come to me that, oh, Doc, please, can you give me recommendation for this? But, I just have a casual relationship with you. I don't know you. I've never taught you. On what basis? Because in the recommendation, they want you to state how knowledgeable the person is in terms of academics. Have you taught the person and I've not taught you? Some of them are even like my mates. My own classmates come to me because at least now I'm an associate professor or I'm a doctor. They want me to give recommendation. When I say no, they think maybe you don't want their progress. No, it will not help you. You may not even get the scholarship. Or sometimes the person is in an entirely different field with you. I'm into geology mining, then you are into social science, then you come to me to give you recommendation for scholarship. It will not work. go for people who are in your area if you want actually to get admission even with scholarship. Then GRE exams. We have the GRE general you can write. They are interested in the quantitative aspect. Quantitative is the mathematics aspect. You must have a higher score, at least 150 out of 170. You must have that. Then you can stand the chance of getting scholarships. So the application deadlines vary. Generally, January, for the fall semester, and some are earlier. So the earlier you get in, the better. So in the statement of purposes, like I told you, 1 to 2 pages and should be double spaced. Okay, double spaced, not 1.5, not one, double spaced. Your goals for going to graduate school should be captured in the statement of purpose. Your research or internship highlights should all be there. What kind of internships or research you've done, which mirror what you're going to do. Then identify faculty or labs where you might be interested in. Or even if you are writing to a particular professor, talk about his lab, how you fit in his lab. Talk about that. And maybe sometimes you had some semester results that were not good. You can explain why that happened and all that. They take in all that. Then the transcripts, take them very early. You can have the school mail it directly to where you are applying, or you can send it with any other material as long as it is in a sealed envelope. Some of them require that you post. Others you just send online. Once you are filling the form, you upload. If you are unsure of which schools you will be applying to, please get multiple copies mailed to you in signed, sealed envelopes so that you can use. So I talked about the letters of recommendation. Most schools require 3, some 2. So at least 2 of them should be from faculty. People who are professors, are lecturers, are doctors, and all that, and who are in your area, not just in any area. You must ask early. Don't come right now when you need it. The deadline is tomorrow, then you need it. Oh, you put pressure on people. Provide a cover letter with information about the deadline. Then you can address any information about yourself that might be helpful to the committee. So we talked about GRE. Most schools require it. Some will waive it. Check on their website. GRE means graduate record exam. Okay, so some will require it. They want to check your quantitative and arithmetic skills. Whether you are good in mathematics, you are good in reasoning. Okay, they want to look at that. So the scores take about 4 weeks to reach school. So plan on taking it with plenty of time before the application deadline. When you are writing GRE, they will ask you about the school you want to submit the results. So when you finish, automatically the GRE people will send the results to the schools you've indicated. Each school has a unique code that is used. And we are saying that it takes like 4 weeks to reach the schools. So please do it early. The GRE changed its form in October 1st to include an analytical writing section. So even in the GRE, there is an English section, analytical, verbal writing section. Instead of just the quantitative or the mathematics, there is also English writing. But most of the schools are looking at the quantitative result, not the analytical or verbal. So you study. You can go to this website, www.gre.org, to get the materials, practice tests. You practice them before you can go. If you have a very high score, I tell you, you can get very good scholarships in America, Canada, and even Australia. Now, financial aid. There are 4 types of financial aid when you want to study postgraduate programs abroad. So some of them are in the form of fellowships. So fellowships are like departmental scholarships. Some of the departments have scholarships in the name of people who are renowned people in those areas. So some of them are also like teaching assistantship positions or graduate research assistants. These are also given by the departments. So most of my past students who, passed through my hands in UMaT and abroad, they got some of these things. So in the TA position, they will waive your tuition, then they give you some amount of money as stipend that you will be dependent on. At least you can survive with that. Then you have to buy your own flight ticket and all that, your initial settlement, you have to take care of all that. So when you get some of these, at least it is a good thing for you. Then we have research assistant positions also given directly by faculty. So there are some professors who have their own projects they are working on, then they will require research assistants. So they will open the position and tell you that these are the roles you will play. If you apply and your application is strong, you will get. Then we have outside fellowships, okay, and these are not within the department. These are maybe within the country, all right. Everyone is considered for departmental financial aid when they apply to some of the program. In some universities, they consider everyone for financial aid if it is there within their university or department. Okay, and then the financial aid is very competitive, so please prepare your application very well. As I said, statement of purpose, maximum 2 pages and double space. Okay, this will put you in a competitive edge. And you sometimes you finish your bachelor, I encourage all of you to try to at least attend conferences with your bachelor degree works. Attend a scientific conference, notable one, that there is record of conference proceedings or something. At least that is a research, initial research you've done. If you cannot publish a paper, that will let the professors believe in you and they want to give you projects. Because this time, even at the bachelor level, people are publishing papers. So these are some of the things you can do, or push yourself and try to publish your bachelor project work right after school. Then you can apply. So the outside fellowships are examples: National Science Foundation in America, NSF. Then we have HEADS, National Defense Science and Engineering Fellowship, Department of Defense, NASA, GEM Minority, and all that, Ford Foundation Minority, Gales Millennium Scholarship, Chevening Scholarship, and all that. You can apply. You look for them. So what are the tips for a successful application? The first thing is that, ladies and gentlemen, you must have a good GPA. GPA means grade point average. All right. In UMass, you will say CWA, cumulative weighted average. And you should also have good letters of recommendation, as I indicated, from people in your field. It's as simple as that. People who know you well. They may have taught you a few courses. It is okay. Get involved in undergraduate research. Once you are still in school, undergraduate level, do some research that have your name on it. Attend conferences. As I told you, these are all the things that will make your application strong. Get to know faculty members. All right, write to some professors in the universities you want to go to whilst you are even in school. Interact with them and let them know your desire to join them. Even when you are in the final year, talk to professors and graduate students about cutting-edge research. They will tell you how to tailor your research. Which kind of research is more attractive to professors? When you tell a professor, I want to do this, he quickly accepts. Tell professors and friends or graduate students, and they can help you. Ask professors for feedback on your essays. You can write an essay and tell a professor to assist you, go through the essay and make some corrections. They know what their colleagues will need. Then get a copy of a successful grant from a professor. You can ask a professor, if you can share a copy of the grant you won, okay, how you drafted the proposal. Then you can also look at it and see how to do your proposal. Assuming a professor said, write a proposal on what you want to do and send to me before I can give you the graduate assistantship. You need something like this. And you can check on YouTube and learn on the internet for some of these things. Now, preparation of critical documents. So proposed plan of research, it needs to be specific about a particular project. So if the professor says you should write a proposal of your research or a plan of your research, you must be very specific about a particular project. Don't be too broad or generalistic in your project area. Be specific. It should address a long-term goal as well as well-planned research activities. They should all be sequentially itemized. And it can also even be from technical journals, from seminar talks, your own undergrad or graduate research, and even professors' successful proposals. You can capture things from all that to help you. Previous research experience, internships, they must be well documented. All the internships you've done, don't relegate them to the background. Co-opted experiences, maybe voluntary activities, you must add them. Undergraduate research, your project work you did, please do not eliminate it from your CV. In your CV, it should be well spelled there. Now, when you come to the CV writing, which is another topic, you can have a general CV, but out of it, you can have a specific CV. General CV, and you always draft it to tailor it towards each job you are applying for or project you are applying for. So please make sure your CVs contain a lot about your skills, a lot about your research prowess. People are not so much interested in your work. So, for example, your education. When you are writing CV, your education, you bring it first. Now, people are not interested in that. They already know you have the certificate. You submit documents. So, education is always put towards the end now. You start with your profile, then talk about your professional skills, work experience, and research awards. Then you can now bring your education at the end and then other things before you end. That is how you write a good CV. So please take note of all these things. When you are planning your research, some of the things you need to do is that your proposal needs to describe research background and technical problems, solutions for these problems, the objectives and the impacts. All of them should be stated in the proposal. Then you can ask professors for help. They can go through and help you. So apart from all these that we've looked at, maybe you are already in a postgraduate program in Ghana, but what is there for you? How can you also go abroad? Not leaving your program, there are exchange programs and there are dual degrees. You can be doing a degree in Ghana whilst doing another one outside. You can take an exchange program. In fact, there are some universities like KNUSA, University of Ghana, UCC that have this Erasmus academic exchange, or some of these exchange programs you can rely on and go abroad. And some are online that you just need to apply. International scholarship, for example, Fulbright, Chevening, Erasmus, they are all over that you can apply. Internships and research abroad. If you are in Ghana, you can do an internship abroad, 6 months. Sometimes I share this on my status or to my students. I have a WhatsApp group with all my mentees and academic tutees. I usually share all these in their WhatsApp groups. You can look at some of these. Join LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good. You will get a lot of opportunities in LinkedIn. Don't think, people who are on LinkedIn, they are socialites. No, LinkedIn will help. It depends on what you curate and what you learn. Then cultural programs and student festivals are all available for you to go. You use that as an opportunity to go abroad. When I was in Turkey, I joined student festivals. I went to Germany through a student festival called Ilmenau, Student Festival. All right, in the Technical University of Ilmenau in Germany. We went there. It was funded, accommodation, feeding, everything was taken care of. Only flight ticket, and I bought my own flight ticket from Turkey to Germany. Is not that far, just 1 hour, so it was not that expensive. So with that, I had my visa to Germany, and then they will believe you when you are applying for visa to Europe again. You don't need to do biometrics again. All right. So these are some of the opportunities you need to take whilst you are in, and all these things are out there for everyone. Now, I am even, worried that I'm no longer a student, because all these opportunities, I can no longer get them. So check on the internet. There are student festival. You can be in Ghana, but apply for a student festival and go to a university abroad. All right. There are cultural programs and all that. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, postgraduate success is achievable, but with the right resources. You must all explore the funding opportunities available and scholarship options if you want to succeed. Because without scholarship and funding, it is difficult for you to succeed. Please embrace international opportunities for growth. As we already learned, when you have these international opportunities, you have a personal development that is, accelerated to a level that you become attractive to the international market. People who want to employ you, you become employable. Stay proactive and persistent in your journey. Please explore, search, and then you will make it. Thank you so much. You can apply to UK, USA, Canada, Australia, Switzerland, and all the other countries that you want to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. I mean, that was a very interesting presentation. If I ask you speaking myself, I wish I was also in final year or level 300, third year, and then I'll be trying to apply to get a scholarship outside. Yeah, very, very enticing. Very enticing. Yeah. And I didn't know about this festival thing. So you can use the festival to actually
Yes.
go outside the visa. And then now if you are applying to another European country, it becomes easier.
It becomes very easy. So we have student festivals. There's one we call Griswold, GRITSFLWALD, Griswold Student Festival. You can browse, and there is time to apply. All they need is you just write some essays. They will always have a team for the festival in that year. They ask you to write an essay. And if you write and your essay is good, they select you, and feeding, accommodation, everything is taken care of. Sometimes only flight that you have to buy. Or the flight sometimes is even taken care of. And once you have that, you have visa to a Schengen country. And one thing you should know is when you get visa to any Schengen country, you can enter any other country within the validity of the visa, any Schengen country. For instance, when I went to Germany, I could just take a bus to Austria. I could take a train to maybe Switzerland, to any of those European countries, because it is for Schengen region. But my point of entry was what? Germany.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's really interesting. Yeah, we are taking questions. So anyone with a question, you could just bring it up.
Okay. As part of filling the requirements for this webinar, there was a section that said you can pre-ask questions. Any question that is baffling your mind, you can share them before the presentation. And I have quite a number of them here, but it seems Doctor has gone through a lot of them. But I'm going to ask few ones that I think would be interesting for all of us. So the first one is, what are some common challenges students face when seeking funding, and how can they overcome these obstacles?
Okay, so I think we can take them one by one.
Yes.
Some of the challenges while seeking funding. Yes, one of the things is maybe a profile. Your profile, if it is not competitive, you may not get the funding. So that is why I stated clearly that you must have a very good profile. You know, it's not only about academics. Most of these scholarships, they are not only looking at CWA or GPA. Whilst you are in school, voluntary activities, positions you have held, they will all help you. Get certificates for them. Add all of them to your profile. Let your CV be very rich, because in school you are not working, so you don't have work experience. These are the things that will let the funders know that when they give you the money or the funding, you are coming, you are already linked with people. You have worked with a group of people. There is teamwork spirit in you. You will not come and be demotivated and not be able to complete. So that will also help you. Another thing is maybe where you are coming from. Sometimes some of the funding opportunities are for a specific group of people. They are not for everyone. You can see a scholarship, they say it's for people from the Caribbeans. So, but you see, it is very good, but you are not in that group. So that could be one of the things. And for that one, it is difficult to, so just leave that and look for scholarships that are related to you, scholarships that you are eligible. So look at the eligibility criteria. If you fall within, then you apply. All right. But for the other one that has to do with competitive profile, you have to work on it. So as I said, add value to yourself. Learn a lot of software. Right now, if you are an engineering student or you are a science-oriented student, please learn how to use most of the basic software and contemporary software in your area. Like a mining engineer, and you don't know how to use SERPAC, Leapfrog, or Datamine. In fact, it will be difficult for you to be, placed within, the context of getting competitive funding in Australia and some of the countries for mining engineering. So there are some people who are organizing these classes, tutorials, and all that, or even online, and they give you certificates. Attend them and know the skills. Get the certificates, and you use all that. When you are interviewed, you can even defend yourself. Act GIS, which is a very important tool for everyone in the sciences. If you are dealing with earth materials or you are working in the earth, you need to know your location and all that. You must be able to produce some maps or digitize certain things with GIS. So it is a very important tool that all of you have to know. Then you become very competitive when you are applying for funding. But without software and everything, you can have a CWA of 95%, but you will not get a scholarship, because all that is about academics. There is nothing value, no skill, nothing, no, software competency. I think that is what I can say about that for now.
Okay. Thank you very much. That is well answered. The second question is, please, I want to know in detail about international opportunities. Is it good to travel outside it?
Okay. Any
Outside the
other?
country to further your education without your national service?
Okay. let me take the last aspect. The last one depends on your goal. You can always do national service at any time, provided you want to work in Ghana. Once you want to work in Ghana, you can even go and do PhD. But when you come to Ghana to work, you can do national service. And some people even make arrangement. Assuming I studied, let's say the time I was coming back from Turkey to Ghana to work in UMAT, if I did not do national service, there could be an arrangement with UMAT. My first 6 months will be national service. You see the point? Then after
Yes.
that, the work continues. Because national service, at least 6 months, you can stop your national service, but you get your certificate. So you don't need to do national service before going out to study abroad. But if you want to, you can do your national service, and then after that, you go. But those of you in final year, if you have the opportunity, I will not say no. If you have opportunity to study abroad, please embrace it. If it is a good opportunity, scholarship is there, everything is there. Don't say because of national service, oh, let me wait next year after service, then I do. No. Please catch it. You may never get it again because it's very competitive. When you finish, you can come and do service. I use my sister as an example. My sister went to Turkey to do her bachelor degree. Then she has come back to Ghana. Now, because she may want to work in Ghana, she has to do national service. If she wants that, she will not do service. She will go back anywhere and go and study again and can be working there. It is only when you want to work in Ghana, it is mandated for you to do, national service. So that is that aspect.
All right. So the next question, and it will be last but one for me. It says, how do I find a program I intend to study, and how do I check the authenticity that this um university I'm applying for is accredited, and how do I know that this university offers this type of program that I want to study?
Okay. So I showed some websites that you can check for programs. Like you can see here, you just check there. These are authentic sites. They will not put programs that are not, accredited. You can go there, find a master's, find a PhD, then you check those related to you. You can even fine tune it or filter it to an area you are in. Specifically, let's say mining engineering, find a master's, then you fine tune it to masters in mining engineering. You will see them. Those that have funding will all be listed with the funding and eligibility criteria. Then you can go ahead and apply, and all of them are authentic. There is none that is fake. Okay, if you want to study a program and you want to know the authenticity, it's still the internet. You have to browse about it. Check the university website well. Okay, some of the websites are cloned and they are not authentic. They are fake. A website that does not, state the HOD, the faculty members, and all that, and they are just only advertising for students. They are more interested in students. You see only marketing staff. They are only advertising for students. It means that such a university is a place you have to run away. They are only interested in students. But a good university will have a section for academics, a section for maybe vacancies, a section for this. All these things are always there. But those that are, predatory, they are only advertising for students. When you go there, it's only adverts about students, because it's money they want. And when they take your money, sometimes you may end up not getting it back. So that is it.
All right. Thank you, sir. The last question is, ap- apart from my degree certificate, will any other academic certificate such as diploma play a role in me wanting a scholarship for postgraduate studies?
Okay. So it depends on the kind of postgraduate program you are looking for. If you are looking for, let's say, master's, the requirement is a bachelor degree in master's. Nobody will be considering your diploma, except some schools that maybe you don't have a degree, but you have a diploma. There are some universities you can get straight entry into master's with a diploma, 3-year or 2-year diploma. Those who did HND or diploma, there are some universities that accept them for straight entry into what? Masters. But the minimum requirement for a master's program is a 4-year bachelor degree program. As I showed you, all the countries, with the requirements, you could see that. And it runs through almost every country you can think about. So the minimum is master's degree. So if you have a diploma, it only will add up to your profile, but they will be dwelling more on your bachelor, degree, let's say the CWA or GPA you've gotten there, because that is the criterion that they use for admitting students.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
Yes.
The last one I won't take again so that we can ask further questions from our audience. It says, I am a graduate in procurement and supply chain management with third class. Will I get scholarship to study abroad?
Oh, yes. There are scholarships all over for every program you can think about. Procurement management, there are a lot of scholarships. It falls within the broad umbrella of management. So there are scholarships for management students everywhere you go. Okay. And there are even some professors that will advertise projects on that. So you have to check. So sometimes you can even check scholarships for MSc or MA in procurement management. Then sometimes you can get to some websites and then you will start searching deeper, and then you can go to specific universities. So sometimes if your target is to go to America, check American universities, be checking scholarships for that your program. You may end up getting a scholarship there. Or some professors in their profiles within the university website, they will indicate that I am open to accepting students. Please contact me. I have some projects that I am looking for students. You just write to the person and maybe you can get a scholarship through that opportunity.
Prof, please let me come in. I think the class is also necessary. The need is needed. I want to know about the class. So, like, can a third class person, someone who finished with third class, can they get scholarship to study outside, or is it limited to just first class and second up?
All right. So I think in my presentation, I stated that also. If you are looking for a scholarship is a bit competitive. Ideally, you should have minimum second class upper. Second class upper is the minimum. Then first class, at least then you are in a comfortable lead. But with third class or even second class lower, sometimes it's difficult. If you have second class lower, as I mentioned, I have seen people with second class lower who got scholarship. But with that, it was not only the academic aspect, they had a lot of experience. Maybe they worked, they had some working experience. So they add all that or voluntary activities and all the extracurricular activities. That's why we say when you are in school, please do not forget about the clubs, associations you join. Take up opportunities like leadership positions. Take all of them and add them to your profile, because it means you have a team working spirit. But if you don't have that, you are going to work in the laboratory of one professor. When you go in his lab, there are a lot of people. You have never worked in a team before, or you've never even led a team. So with that, who will give you that scholarship? So if you don't have a good class, but you have those things in your profile, they can also propel you or help you get a scholarship. But please target at least second class upper. All of you who are interested in scholarship, I can tell you that with second class upper, first class, you are in a comfortable lead to get a scholarship. Yes, so there are some questions in the chat now. So I've seen one from Emmanuel A. Kweku. Can you apply for more than one scholarship? The question is a bit ambiguous, but is it for one scholarship for one program? Because the scholarships, you can apply for several scholarships. When they come, you choose. I can apply for, let's say, Turkish government scholarship. If I tell you the number of scholarships I applied for when I finished my bachelor degree, I can tell you almost every university in the UK and whatnot had my documents. I was just getting the admissions, but without scholarship. Admission without scholarship. Unfortunately, we regret. Unfortunately, we regret. But we never lost hope. We kept on applying to the extent where I, all of a sudden I applied to Turkey. After school, I was a TA. Then I applied. Even the Turkish government scholarship, I didn't know about it. Some of my friends knew about it. They were TAs and they applied, but they never told me. So one of my friends who was in biochemistry department, he told me that, Charlie, the Turkish government scholarship, have you applied? I said, oh, I don't know anything about it. What is it? Oh, but your colleagues in earth science, they have all applied. I said, hey, and these people didn't tell me. So I said, okay. And it was left with 2 days for the deadline. It was on Thursday I had it, and I think Friday was the deadline. Yes, so I had it Thursday. The following day, I went in the office. I was applying. All of a sudden, I was the only one called for interview. All those that hit the thing from me, they never were called for the interview. And so I went for the interview. I got it. But I even ended up not going for that one because there was a better one, because that one I was supposed to go and learn Turkish before I started the program. Then there was one by their Scientific and Technological Research Council. They said that is very competitive. They take only a few students. So, but I said I will apply. I put in my application. You know what? I prepared my bachelor project work like an article for publication and added it. And that is what helped me. When I came up, people were saying, oh, me, I checked the list. I've not seen my name. This one said I didn't see my name. When I checked, my name was number 14 out of 104. And I was the only Ghanaian. And that scholarship is what gave it was for both masters and PhD. The only condition is to maintain a GPA of 3.2 out of 4 in the master's program. And I went for it. After my master's, I had 4 out of 4. Then quickly I got my PhD. So that is it.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So there is another one here. I want to do MSc after BSc Renewable Energy Engineering. What should I do? What should you do? You want to know the kind of program you should do or what you should do to get a program or a scholarship? Well, when you finish your BSc, start looking for scholarships. There are MA or MSc or MTech or MPhil programs in renewable energy. It's not only renewable energy. Renewable energy can lead you into aviation. It can lead you into, sustainable, development programs. It can lead you into even mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. There are some who have even diverted into computer because they are even related. So you can get programs in that, even into petroleum, energy economics and all that. These are all areas. There's what we call sustainability management. You can go into all that. All right. So browse. I've shared some websites. I'll share the document with the institute. Then they can share to participants. Those who will be looking for certificates, they are the ones you should be giving the slides to.
Of course.
All right. So you can apply for the scholarship. They are everywhere. Then one said, sir, please, is it compulsory to be a teaching assistant before pursuing scholarships abroad? Yes, this is a big question everyone has been asking. Must I be a TA? Because they have seen that over the years, it's only TAs who are getting the scholarships. So the secret is that, let me answer the question first. No, you don't need to be a TA before getting scholarship. But the reason TAs are getting scholarship is that they are in the school and they are with the professors. They are even still learning new skills and research, and they now know how to write statement of purposes because they are with the professors to correct them. They are getting good recommendation letters from the professors. They have internet connectivity all throughout. That is one of the advantages. So, and you are teaching. So you add that also to your profile that you are a teaching assistant at, let's say, UMAT. Then you apply for a scholarship. They are looking for someone who has done research before. So that is how come you will be given the scholarship than someone who maybe went and did his national service at a secondary school, or maybe even in the mine. You may not perhaps get the scholarship because they are looking for someone who is into research. But when we say come for THE, you don't want to go. So please, how can we convert our CWA to a standard GPA for the application? So there are calculators online, CWA to GPA. You can check and put your own there. Then you easily calculate it, then you know whether you fall within the eligibility criteria that is given or not. So check online, CWA to GPA calculator is there, and you can easily calculate. All right. So, but generally, if you have a CWA of 70, let me tell you, you are in a comfortable lead. CWA of 70 and above, you are in a comfortable lead. So someone also asked, please, what documents should be prepared or made ready as you seek to apply for a scholarship to study outside? I think I've already mentioned all these things. They are all in the slides, and I took them one by one. Statement of purpose, you must get recommendation letters. So all these things, you need them. All right. So one of the things I need to advise you, once you are still in school, those of you who are still in school, please get closer to professors. One of the mistakes we make is you are no closer to your professors, then you graduate, then you are looking for a recommendation. You send him email, he won't mind you. Send him WhatsApp, he will not mind you because he doesn't know you. There were a lot of people in the school before you. So he has seen a lot of faces. He has not gotten that interaction with you. But when you are in the university, please take at least 3 professors or 3 lecturers. Become so close to them. Go to their offices once in a while to greet them. You just go and say, oh, Doc, please, I just came to say hi to you. Then you have the person's contact also. You see that when you graduate and you want recommendation from such a person, he quickly knows you. And he has taught you also, he will easily give you recommendation. So the secret is your bachelor project supervisor. You should be very close to your project supervisor because his recommendation is going to be very strong. He knows your research prowess. Then maybe your academic tutor. In human, you have academic tutor or academic mentor. Please do not joke with such people. They will also help you. Then any other lecturer that has taught you before. There are some lecturers, you are very close to them, or even your HOD. That will add a plus to you. So 3 people, target them, be very close to them, have their contacts, be chatting with them. Oh, just once in a while you can call, or sometimes you are a student, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can even send a token of call credit, air time to the professor. And I tell you, the person doesn't need it, but you wonder, why this? You are setting the pace for tomorrow. When you graduate and you are no longer in the university and you want recommendation, you send him email or WhatsApp, he will quickly respond. There are some of my students, I'm telling you, even right now as we are talking, if I see an email that he needs recommendation, the moment we finish, I'm going to send it. But there are some, I'll not mind you because I don't know you. So I think that is it. Somebody said, I have a Dr. Sadari, so Sadari will be doing it for you. So please, what area of research is mostly sought after in Australia? Well, I cannot tell. There are several areas. It depends because it's not only mining. Most of you are not mining. Some are in other areas. So it depends on your area. But look at contemporary areas of research in your domain. Don't be looking at those old archaic areas. Now people are adding this data analytics into every aspect. So even if you are doing maybe you are into mining geology, add a little bit of data analytics like AI and whatnot to augment what you are doing. All right, and that will make you more marketable. So these are the areas that professors are looking for. If you check right now in Australia, in most of the countries in mining, most of them are adding data analytics and predictive modeling and all that into their research. So if you are a guru in AI and you can apply it in mining, apply it in geology, you become more marketable. And that still also falls back on the knowledge in software. You need to know some programming. You need to know how to use Python, all right? And that will make you more marketable, all right? So somebody said, Prof, what are the science, geology, maths, mechanics areas a research enthusiast wanting to publish papers in mining should have a strong understanding of before finishing PhD? What are the science areas of research interest wanting to publish in mining should have a strong understanding of before finishing a BSc? Yeah, let's say you are in mining and you are doing mining engineering. If you want to publish, you have chosen an area where you did your, project work. You can start leveraging on that. build on that, and that becomes the career for you. So that is why when I was at UMAT, I used to advise my students, when you are choosing project work, be very careful. It begins to be the first step of your research. So with that, when you choose an area to do your research, that area begins to be the place where you'll be building your prowess. When you finish, let's say you did how do you call it, mine automation, you did something on mine automation in your project work. So please, when you are looking for scholarships, be looking for scholarships in that direction. I'm telling you, because you have had research experience in that area. You have a full thesis written, which you can submit as a piece of example of research you have conducted. You may have even presented it in a conference, like I said. Then you apply for a scholarship in the same area. You are likely to get it than someone who has not done research in that area but has a good GPA. That doesn't mean he should get it. All right. Now, there's another question. If you want to major in MSc Mining Engineering, which is advisable, MSc Mining Engineering with thesis or non-thesis? Okay, that is a good question too. So the issue is, it depends on your interest. Some of you don't want to go into academia. You don't want to go into research. You never want to do PhD. Your last you want to do is masters. And you can go and do masters without thesis. And also if your interest, I mean, you are in the industry, you are working in the mining company, why will you go for masters with thesis if you don't want to become a researcher? Let me use an example of one of my students I'm supervising in UMAT. Currently, the guy is still suffering to graduate because he has to publish a paper before graduating. And he's doing the master's for almost 4 years today because he cannot publish the work. I am not going to help him write paper. He has to write his own paper. He sends to journals, it's being rejected and all that, because I advise him in the beginning on the trajectory. I know where you can easily publish, which area you should choose for your master's thesis. He thought he knew. He wanted an area of his own. Well, I left it onto him. Today he cannot. And unfortunately, I am off UMAT. So I don't know what he's going to do. The co-supervisor never contributed to that particular work. So what is going to happen to him, I don't know. So those are the things you need to look at. The areas of interest should be. So if you are into mining, you are working in the mining industry, just go for MSc mining without thesis, or one you just do some project work and whatnot. If you don't want to ever do PhD. But if you think of doing PhD in the future or working in a research industry or research institute, please, that one is mandatory. You must do MSc mining that has thesis attached. All right. Then somebody said, I mean, if I'm having a scholarship already, but that scholarship supports only tuition, can I apply for different scholarship which support different aspects? And I am environmental safety engineer, which masters or PhD programs are good for me? Yeah, so if your scholarship you've gotten supports only tuition, there are other scholarships that may support stipend, okay, or may give you stipend, or for accommodation, or for another aspect. You can apply for all of them, provided they do not violate the ethics or the rules for the first scholarship that you got for only tuition. All right, so you can apply for multiple scholarships for one program, provided the other one does not prevent you from getting. So you need to read all that. And if you're an environmental and safety engineering, person, and you want masters or PhD, look, let me tell you, that is one of the best programs I saw in UMAT. Environmental and safety engineering. It has environmental science or environmental engineering. There is safety engineering, occupational health, everything combined. That program is very good. I'm telling you, with that program, you can enter into almost all the earth-related, or earth science-related programs. You can go and do masters in mining engineering. I'm telling you, you can go and do masters in geology. You can do masters in environmental engineering. You can do masters in occupational health. You can do masters in safety. You can do masters in, environmental science. You can do so many areas, even environmental chemistry. You can go and do masters in all that. Analytical chemistry, you can do masters in that. So environmental and safety engineering is very broad. Anything that has to do with the environment, you can go into that. It's a very good program for you, and you can, look into that. So I want to do MSc after my BA. So what should I do currently? We've talked about that. Then you didn't join the session. I've told you things you need to prepare. You get good GPA, get people that will give you good recommendations and prepare everything, write to professors and all that. So somebody said, please, I did minerals engineering from human, but want to consider masters in mining. Is it possible? And if very, very possible. Very, very possible. Currently, let me even tell you, maybe some of you, because you don't want to come to or go to other countries. In my university here in India, I'm in mining engineering department. I'm a geological engineer. But when I was in UMaD, I used to teach mining, geology, and ES, environmental and safety engineering. So with that opportunity, and because of my PhD in mining geology or economic geology, it gives me the leverage. So I find myself even in mining engineering department, and we are employing or admitting students in related departments. Look, it's only Ghana that maybe sometimes they say strictly, okay, if you didn't do mining engineering, you cannot get mining engineering at masters. But now UMaD, I think that has even changed. But when you come to my university, currently I help some Ghanaians who just came. They came 3 days ago. One did civil engineering at UNER, and he was a TA there. Today he's coming to do MTech in mining engineering, masters in mining engineering. All right. Then even a student who completed St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary in the Upper West region also did general arts, but he is here doing straight bachelor degree in mining engineering, straight. No needing to do any pre-engineering or whatever. Straight. Once you have mathematics, you did elective maths, you did geography, then you did integrated science, you are qualified. All right. I use my own sister also as an example in Turkey. My sister did general arts in Ghana. All right. But she got a genetic engineering program in Turkey, and she went and did a genetic engineering program. All right. So that is the opportunity. When you go outside, some of these restrictions are not there. It is in Ghana that sometimes we put those restrictions. So with minerals engineering from UMaD, you are qualified to do mining engineering abroad. If Ghana, you can't do it, fine. But outside I can promise you, there is no university in outside world or outside Ghana that you cannot do mining engineering, because yours is even more related to mining. All right. So if you want to come to India, you can get in contact with me. Our mining engineering program, MTech mining engineering, you pay less than $2,000, which includes accommodation, feeding, tuition, utility bills, and you are even given an AC room, air-conditioned room. Okay, the 2 students that came, they are a testimony to that. I think they have even joined this particular session, so they are there to talk for themselves, and they have seen the quality, of laboratory and all that we have. And we give 50% scholarship to all international students. All right. So after the 50% scholarship that you are getting, like $1,800 for 1 year tuition, which includes everything, accommodation, feeding, tuition fees, and all that. Then the second year, and one thing is that the tuition is static. It doesn't change or it doesn't increase as you go up. It's the same fee you pay till you graduate. So the guy that is doing bachelor, he's going to pay the same fees till you graduate. It's the bachelor that is a bit higher. The bachelor is about $2,400 a year, but also includes tuition, accommodation, feeding, utility bills. Then let me tell you, you are being fed 4 times a day. They are here to talk for themselves. The scholarship covers all that 4 times a day. The last time you are being fed is 7 to 9 p.m. So those of you interested in mining engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Now our mechanical engineering, we are even doing e-mobility. Those who want to major in manufacturing of electric vehicles, that opportunity is there. All right, so Joseph has even put there. He said, yes, it's true. I can testify. He's from UNER. He did a bachelor in civil engineering, and now he's doing MTech mining engineering in our university here. All right. Any other question?
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. I think we are highly impacted. You've done a great job.
Yeah.
And to our attendees, you've also done a very good job. Looking at the number, it means Professor highly fired, because looking at this number, the attention span of some participants are sometimes quite low. But you realize that we go around 8 to 4, then we keep rising. that has been a
Yeah.
good
We
thing,
thank
which
God.
means the delivery was quite impactful. Yeah.
Mm.
So you made mention of a couple of skills that people should acquire, and we want
Mm.
to say that FESTARI Institute of Professional Studies, we have a software uh, training which is coming
Mm.
up somewhere in September 1st in this year is coming up. It is touching on almost all the other mining softwares that are currently used in the industry. So we have Sepak, Whittle, Mineshed, Wholesome, and Talpack. So if you are interested in any of these softwares, you can get in touch and then you enroll on the program. And then we also have a program in data science and predictive modeling also going around and coming up in 11th of August. So if you are a participant here and you are interested in acquiring a skill in how to code in Python, then look no further. FESTARI is here for you. So, and there are a couple of courses that are also in the pipeline. So if you're interested in any of these, get in touch and then we will. So get in touch and then we will train you to have that skill that you are looking for. And that's what we are here for. So thank you so much, Prof. We've really appreciated this moment with you. And I know everyone has learned something new, questions that baffles us regarding travel abroad and for studies and scholarship. All of them have been answered. In fact, we got about 40 questions when they filled the form. But
Mm.
as and when you were talking, we are just crossing them out, crossing them out. And before we realized we've crossed everything out, leaving three. So, which means
Wow.
that you've done a great job. Thank you so much. I just can't thank you enough. I'm really grateful.
We
Uh,
thank God.
this being
Also,
our first one, we are hoping that the second one is coming up later in the year, and
okay.
we call that "From Confusion to Clarity." That is it.
Wow.
That is the title, "From Confusion to Clarity." We realize that a lot of people find this challenge of trying to juggle business, academics, and that of career path. It becomes a lot of challenge for individuals. Those of us who have joined us anticipate that there's going to be another FIPS webinar series coming up along before the year comes to a close, and that will be the topic. So hold on tight for us. We are coming. Thank you. Prof, if you have your final words, you can proceed.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Dr. Festus. I would like to thank you once again for the opportunity. In fact, it's been a nice time interacting with people and sharing knowledge. So I pray you continue with this. What we have shared, the nuggets we have shared, start checking and start applying. Those of you who are doing national service, don't wait to finish service before you start looking for scholarships. If your desire is to study abroad, it is this time that you can start. Even those in final year, you can start because there are some programs that accept, you know, final years. Currently, there are some two students from UMAT who sent me their document. They are applying to my university and they don't have their final semester, but we are giving them admission because we know that by November they would have graduated. So they will get admission August. This August they will be coming. When they finish their exam, they will start masters and go back and graduate and come. So those opportunities are all there. So start searching, and our doors are always open. If you want to get in touch with me, please contact FESTARI Group Limited, and they will link you up to me. All right. So thank you so much.